Hello all. As some of you might have seen from a short that I uploaded recently, I managed to land my first drop-in on a quarter pipe. It was a bit over a week ago, and it was a really amazing experience. I know everybody says like, oh, it's very scary and everything, and it really is. It really is very scary. And I kind of knew what I needed to do. I just needed to commit and lean into it and everything, and I did it. And it took me 3 tries to land it, to roll out. And then as soon as I did, I went back and I did it maybe like 10 or 15 more times, just one after the other, just to kind of ingrain it into my brain. However, having said that, I fell pretty hard on the first try. So I had my helmet on and I figured, yeah, worst case scenario, if I fall, I'm gonna hit my head and I have my helmet on, it's gonna protect me, it's gonna be fine. But what actually happened is that honestly, I don't even know exactly what happened. I wasn't filming at the time. That was literally my first attempt. And I think the quarter pipe where I was on actually curves a little bit. So it's not like a normal drop, like the actual drop itself curves, and I thought visually that was the shallower end of the quarter pipe, but it was also like angled in a weird way. So I think when I dropped down, instead of like just dropping down or rolling straight, there was a bit of a banking to it, and it dropped down and like turned a little bit, and I didn't expect that turn. I didn't feel like it was gonna be like visually, it didn't really seem that way. But later on, when I really observed it, that's kind of what I noticed. So what happened is, I I landed, and I guess I did a split, and both my knees, like both my legs, kind of twisted, and both my knees hit the ground. And so I had like pain and like a little bit of bruising on the inside of both knees. But the one that took like the bigger, not necessarily impact, but like the one that got mostly affected was the front knee. So my leg twisted quite a bit and then landed and hit the ground. And I think that was the thing that first took the impact. And that hurt. That hurt, but at the time, you're full of adrenaline, you're excited, like you're in the mood, you're warmed up still and everything, and then I stood back up. I was like, I'm not gonna stop now. I just fell, like I broke that fear barrier. Let's go back and let's do it again. Second try, I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't even remember what happened in the second time. I feel like the first one got so much into my head that I don't even remember what happened on the second try. I think on the second try, I dropped down and I rolled out, but like it was, oh yeah, it shot out, right? It shot out, but I was able to like just keep standing up and everything was fine. So I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like I'm close. Let me film it. So I got on my phone and I filmed it, and it was the first try on camera that I tried, and that was the first one ever that I ever did in my life. And I'm very happy that this happened, because that was a fear that I wanted to conquer. Now, I grew up skating street, exclusively street. I didn't have any access to any skate parks or anything. So we would just go to random skate spots and just like skate a spot. And that was it. There was no transition, no anything. Here in Canada, there's a lot more skate parks, and I'm very grateful and privileged to have a bunch of skate parks around me. And skate parks are very transition, not necessarily very transition, but they have a lot of transition, and I feel like that's kind of like part of the flow of a skate park. And you can even focus on little street obstacles and stuff, but you could like just drop down on a little quarter pipe to get some speed or whatever. And just in general, like at my age, I feel like it would probably be more fun to and probably less intense on the body to just like roll around bowls and carve and stuff like that. Not like huge bowls and stuff, just like shallow bowls and stuff like that, instead of just like constantly jumping and getting impact on your knees and stuff. So I wanted to start learning doing this, and the first thing I wanted to start with was dropping into a quarter pipe. And again, like the quarter pipe that I jumped on, it must have been maybe like 3 feet, something like that, 3 4 feet maximum. Not 4. There's no way it was 4 feet. Probably like 3 feet. So it wasn't too bad. And people also told me from the video that I need to lean in more because I wasn't like smacking the front enough. But anyways, that's what happened. And I'm very excited about that. And yeah, so the sad news is that I haven't skated since then because my knee hurt a lot afterwards. And it started to feel a bit unstable, and I was worried about that. I had never had any knee injury, at least not significantly enough to go to the doctor. I'm sure when I was young, I hit my knee a bunch of times and I did some stupid shit, but you know, you always just walk it off and it's fine. But this time around, it felt a little bit suspicious, and I wasn't too sure. Like I kept hearing everybody getting like meniscus injuries and then ligaments and stuff like that. So I didn't want to risk it, and it kept hurting for the next 24 hours. And I knew it wasn't intense because I could still walk and everything, but it hurt and it felt unstable. So I went to a physical therapist and I got it checked out. And thankfully, she said that the meniscus is intact. So there's no problem whatsoever with the meniscus. She did all the tests and everything is fine. But the MCL got injured. So it's a minor injury. I guess they call it a grade 1. And basically it's strained or inflamed or whatever. Like it took a load that it wasn't able to take, and it didn't get ripped necessarily, but it got worked on. So now I'm in recovery. Basically, I'm just trying to keep it light, like rest it, not force it too much, not do any weird movements. Just trying to also train a little bit at home, do some exercises, do some strengthening exercise for my legs. I started looking into exercises for legs and knee protection and all that stuff, and this is kind of what I've been thinking about in the last entire week. And this is kind of like what I wanted to talk about in this video. Now already I'm 8 minutes in, at least in my recording. Probably gonna be edited a little bit. And yeah, it's crazy. It's almost weird. Like it dawned on me today that like I'm 38. I'm almost middle-aged. Like if you consider middle-aged like the half of your age, 38, that means it'll be 76. Yeah, 76 years old. If today is my middle age and 76 is the day I die, I'll be very grateful if I make it to 76, to be honest. I mean, I would be grateful if I make it longer than that, but just 76, I'll be very happy. So it's kind of messed up, like you grow up and then all of a sudden you're like old. I don't realize, like I still feel like a 24-year-old, I still feel like a kid. I don't feel like an old man. And I know things have changed and now health is very different and people like age slower than before, and like life expectancy gets higher and higher. But it's not a given, and you kind of have to work for it as well. And this is kind of like what I'm starting to realize. Like I was always, now I'm not gonna say I was always, but for the last few years I've tried to be a bit more active in my life and exercise and lift weights and stuff like that. I don't do it consistently. Also here in Canada, like winters are kind of crazy, so it's not that easy to like be active. But like I'm trying to do winter sports, like cross country skiing and all that stuff, which is really good for the legs as well. But clearly I'm not super fit, right? Like skating, when I started skating again, it really highlighted how weak my body was. And for an average person in this age and for average life, it's fine. Like I'm pretty flexible and like I'm strong enough and I'm healthy enough and I don't do too many like bad habits and everything. Everything is fine in that sense. But skating is an intense sport, and especially like it has to do a lot of jumping and stuff, and like we don't do that day to day, right? So it really highlighted all the weaknesses that I had in my body, the balance muscles, the core muscles, the leg strength, and all that stuff. And obviously also the fact that I'm not necessarily in my ideal weight. It's also more weight to lift when you're trying to ollie and pop and stuff. So I'm very grateful that it started with just skateboarding back again for fun, because like I kind of caught the passion that I had when I was young again. I can't believe it's been 14 years since I've taken skateboarding seriously. And even then, like it was serious, but I wasn't that good. I could only do a few tricks. We would play games of skate and whatever, and maybe try and like go right around, film a trick here and there. But back home, like we didn't have these great skaters around us to inspire us and push us to go higher. Like it was hard at the time, so my progression was very slow because I didn't have anybody to like push me to it. Everybody that I knew was pretty much my level or lower. So yeah, so going back into it now with all the things that I know and all the things that I have access to, I didn't expect it to be that hard on the body, and I didn't expect myself to take it that seriously, you know? But the first day I went skating, immediately I got hurt. And I felt super sore and a muscle pulled and all that stuff. And I had to wait a couple of days until everything stretched out. Went out again, felt a little bit better, got hurt again, pulled another muscle somewhere else. Again, a couple of days, resting, stretching, doing these things. And it was like that for like the first week or two. And it was clear that my body wasn't ready, right, for that kind of activity. But the more that kept happening, the more it made me self-reflect on where I am, how is my body, like everything. And it really made me want to take it seriously and be in better shape. And not only that, but I am very motivated to keep going, to keep skating, to keep exercising, try and like develop a good routine to exercise and strengthen my body to be able to skate and get better. And I aspire to be better than what I was when I was at the height of my skateboarding, because it's relatively a low bar for a lot of people here. And I feel like with enough dedication and training and getting fit, I can probably get better than what I was. And this is my goal, basically. Like, I'm not taking it seriously to like get sponsored or anything. I'm not taking this video stuff seriously. This is just for me. I'm doing this just for me. I'm documenting my journey for myself, but I'm also sharing it for other people if anybody else finds it and finds it interesting. So this is my aspiration, and I'm probably gonna make a video just to kind of like talk more about like what my goals are. But finding skateboarding again reminded me how much I love skateboarding, how much I have fun and I'm happy when I'm skateboarding, how meditative it is to go skateboard, because this is all you're focused on. All your problems elsewhere just go out of your head. And how awesome the skateboarding community is. I moved across the world, basically immigrated to Canada when I was 24. Basically, oh no, not 20, was it 24? It was in 2011. You do the math. I'm 38 right now. You do the math. Um, and I had a hard time making friends. And eventually I did make some friends, but I kind of lost contact with these friends. Like they weren't like friends. And meanwhile, I'm still friends with the friends that I used to skate with, right? Like till this day, we still talk, we still share clips with each other, we still talk about skateboarding, coming back to skateboarding, and all that stuff. And there's such a unique bond between skaters that is just, it's always been there, and I regret really not continuing skateboarding when I came here. I felt intimidated when I came here because everybody was so good and everybody was skating big skate parks with big transitions and stuff like that. And here I am, like this dude that doesn't know how to do anything. And like I was super intimidated by skate parks. I'm still kind of intimidated by skate parks because I never grew up with skate parks before. So it's pretty new to me. And honestly, like other than like just trying tricks on a small ledge, that's like a flat ledge, that's so far that's all I'm doing. But I want to get better, and this is it. So like this is the aspiration. I want to get better, I want to get in a better shape, I want to use skateboarding as a motivating factor to get in better shape, get more healthy, get fitter, and skateboard, learn how to skateboard again, learn how to skateboard the best I can, learn how to skateboard even better than I was skateboarding almost daily back in the day, learn how to do transition, learn how to carve, learn how to do all these things, and also in the process of it, make friends, because having skateboarding friends is so much more fun. So far, I've only been skating alone. When I went to that skate park and did the drop down in the quarter pipe, I met a couple of people there that were really nice. We didn't get a chance to talk that much, but they were really nice. Shout out to Nikolai and Marco. Um, Obviously, you're not gonna watch this, but shout out nonetheless. And I'm looking forward to it, right? Like I'm looking forward to like making more friends, like getting in touch with people, just feeling that excitement again about skateboarding. Like I love skateboarding, and I feel so weird because for the last almost 15 years it was just completely out of my head, and then all of a sudden it turned on, and it's just like the flame blew up all of a sudden. And I'm very excited to start this journey, or like continue this journey. And I hope that I'm blessed enough to be able to do it, and I hope I'm able to do it in a smart way so that I don't get injured and I lay back in bed for a significant amount of time. Obviously, I'm working full time. I have a family to take care of and everything, so I don't want to get hurt in a way that like puts some load on my wife. But I'm excited. I'm excited about getting back into this journey, and I don't want to let go of this passion, because I've been feeling a bit lost for the past maybe 6 years. Like career is okay. It's not fulfilling, but it's a good job. Life is good. I have a good house. I have I'm things are okay. Like there's nothing to complain about. But I always felt like there's something missing, there's something not fulfilling. I'm not getting this like deep happiness from the things that I do. I thought it was gonna be music. I did a lot of music as well, and back in the day it used to be a bit rewarding, but it never felt like that was the thing. Same with photography, same with everything. I do love it, but skateboarding, like even for photography, like what did I start shooting? skate photography. Like that's what I know. That's what I learned. That's how I learned how to take photos, is trying to learn skate photography. And there's something really cool about skateboarding persistence. Like you tell yourself, I want to learn this trick, or I want to do this trick on this obstacle. And that's your mission. That's all you have to think of. You just focus on that, and you just figure it out. And you just figure it out. Either you might get hurt in the process, but you just figure it out, and then you do it, and then you did it. And then it's an amazing feeling. And then you know how to do it. Like, and that's in your bag now. You can use it later, but it's done. So like, I wanted to take skate photos, so I learned photography while trying to take skate photos. You see what I mean? And I just kept doing it and kept learning, kept researching it. So it's the same principle that I have in a lot of aspects of my life. Like, you know, I obsess over something. I find something interesting. I obsess over it until I get good enough at it where I feel like I understand it, I can do it, and then I move on. And then I find something else. So what I find cool about skateboarding is that it's constantly giving you those little goals to achieve. And it's something that can be very rewarding and helpful for life, and a mentality that you can apply in other aspects of life as well. So yeah, so that's it. So I just wanted to like talk a little bit, dump my thoughts while I'm in recovery. I don't feel like it's completely healed yet, so I'm not gonna push myself. I'm still gonna keep exercising and trying to strengthen my legs. And yeah, I don't wanna mess it up again. Like, as soon as I feel like my knee is perfectly stable, it's not giving me any issues, and it feels reliable, I might go back and then start skating again. I hope I can go back and drop down into the quarter pipe again, but we'll see. I might go just like pump around a little bit, just push and stuff, and just in the street, to not go crazy first couple of times. But yeah, it's hard. This is the hard part. This is the hard part about being older, is that recovery takes a long time, and you already don't have that much time to skate. It's not like you skate every day. At least me, or like not like I used to, at least, you know what I mean? Like, there's other things to do in life, so it sucks that like when you get a chance to skate and you can't skate, it's disappointing. But you know, I'm very anxious to like go back to skating, and I'm very excited, but I have to pace myself, and this is the hard part. Like, you have to be reasonable and have patience and not go crazy, otherwise you're gonna spend even more time not skating. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's it. So I wanted to just share my thoughts on this today, a week after my injury, and I can't wait to go back to skating. But for the time being, I'm just gonna stay at home and exercise and just try and get better so that I don't get hurt again. And that's it. Go out and skate if you can.